Fancy a bit of magic? Yeah, me too. Hello Space Cats, it's me Jules with another video on the art of making booky things. This week, and it's been in my diary for a really long time, the day has finally come. I'm going to draw a fairy in coloured pencil. It's going to be awesome and fan-dooby and I can't wait to get started. So grab your materials and let's get on with it, shall we? The first thing that I've done is just erase some of those lines a bit. I've left them a bit darker than I actually probably would have done, just so that you can see it more easily. But if you erase them a bit, then it's not so distracting and you don't see the lines underneath your coloured pencil work. And I'm just laying down there a base coat before I start anything else. And that really is the trick with using coloured pencils, is to make sure that you build up layers of colour. Start with the paler colours and work your way towards the darkest range. Make sure your pencils are really sharp when you're doing this first layer. And then you can blend them using one of several methods. The method that I've been using is using my white pencil to go over the whole thing, just to blend the colours in. And you'll see this works quite well doing the wings. But you can also use some solvent that's specially made for coloured pencils, or you can use a paper stump that is just a sort of tightly wound roll of paper, and that helps blend things sometimes. Or sometimes you also get a specifically made pencil that's for blending and it's colourless. So use one of those methods, but I quite like using the white pencil. It seems to work quite well, and once you've blended those colours, what you can do is lay down a little bit more of your pigment over the top, just to bring up that saturation again. Another tip for using coloured pencils is if you are using if you want to lay down a sort of light base colour, you can use your pencil sideways like I'm doing here, and just don't use too much pressure, but just build up those colours, those layers, by blending them and then putting some more of that pigment down. It's good to think about where your light source is coming from as well. Always just stay aware of where that's coming. So for example, with her face, I've got on her hand there's a bit of shadow because her face is casting that shadow over it, and the light source is coming from the left hand side in this picture. Like butterflies, what I've done with the wings is the outer side of the wings, the bit that I'm working on at the moment, is a different colour to the inside. And you can see now the difference that using that white pencil makes. When you're choosing colours, it's nice sometimes to have complementary colours, but also to use contrasting colours. So although I wanted a lot of this to be purples and blues, I wanted the dress to be something different so that it didn't all just look like a big old purple splodge of colour. So I chose this sort of tealy green colour. And again, just picking up that darker colour for the different shadow areas and also the details. Another thing about using coloured pencils is you need to give yourself plenty of time, because it definitely takes time to build up those layers that will create the look that you're going for. So don't be too hasty, and make sure that you enjoy what you're doing and you're not rushing. I'm going to be doing a video on hair soon, so we can go over that a little bit more in more detail then. But this little fairy's got quite sort of straggly hair, quite naturally, I think we might call it the beach look, but by showing these kind of wavy lines, that shows that her hair is falling over her shoulders. And I wasn't quite sure when I was drawing this out, I wasn't quite sure whether I wanted to put any pigment liner around the edge, so to sort of pick up some of those details a bit more with a fine liner. But in the end I did decide to go with it, and you'll see the finished results here after I've completed the ground that she's sitting on and also those mushrooms. The step-by-step real-time course of this picture unfolding is available over on my website, and that includes all of my artistic decisions and the process that I went through to get this picture finalised, including everything to do with the colours that I chose and the layers that I worked in and my drawing design choices. So if you want to have a look at that, it's over on my website, julesmarinerbooks.com. If you'd like further artist tutorials, I have a variety of short courses that will help you. There are real-time sessions looking at painting, drawing and marker pens, among others. And if you're keen on producing your own book, there is a more in-depth course on what you need to know about self-publishing a book with illustrations. And that covers making key decisions, how to make layouts and dummy books, rhythm and pacing, as well as several tutorials on illustrating your book, and a look at the tech. You can either hop over to my website or join me on Patreon for more information. Go on, give it a go! If you like doing stuff like this together, then why not join me on a regular basis? I've been making live stream drawing videos all year. You can still find that stuff on my channel. So join this little drawing community and show me what you can do. Next week I will be talking about tone. No, not the bloke from the fish and chip shop, the thing that you need for your creative writing. Until then, I'm off to see if I can trap a heffalump or a woozle. I will see you next week. Nanu nanu.